to the next topic. But what do you guys think about the whole Kevin Porter Jr. situation with him being traded to the Rockets?
So I'll start this off, because so Roy can shut up every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, I think it was important. I think it was important for him to move. Especially, we all know about the outburst the other day with the food because of the moved lockers. Which I mean, I've seen, especially when I see Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal were chatting about it as well, and they kind of voiced their feelings about, how you would feel if all your personal things were moved without permission for just the first fucker that walks in the door. And I feel like they were saying it, and obviously I feel like it's fairly intuitive that it's disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? And you want to, especially if you're part of that organization, that's not what you need. Obviously, they traded him for a shitty, for a shitty second round pick as well.
The heaviest second round pick you could possibly do.
And it's one of those where I feel like they clearly didn't value him as much. They said that there was we've tried, we've done what we can. I don't feel like that's necessarily true, but I feel like
they have to say that, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do. But
it sounds like them trying to protect themselves. Sounds like
when he's going to Houston, Houston have a good record of developing these players and with the culture around as well. So I feel like, and I think I've seen it a few times as well, I feel like that'll be a strong move for his career. His career hasn't really had the chance to get started yet because of all the controversy, but I feel like he still has potential to be I think he still has potential to grow and become a really great player in the future. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously, we'll need to kind of see how he does now. He was obviously 30th pick 2019, was it?
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is we really see how off the court and how your kind of mental state can really impact. Yeah, it can really just impact your game because we know he's a good player. Do you know what I mean? When we have seen him, although it has been a while. But yeah, I mean, I feel kind of bad for him. You know what I mean? In a sense, I don't think he's really got his opportunity. I don't think he's been supported as well as he could do. I think he's been disrespected. But I feel like now that he's in Houston, I feel like that's going to be over with. And I think with Houston, I've said this before, I think I like the prospect of Houston going forward.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. The only thing I would add is to just elaborate on what you said is, I think literally when I was thinking of when this whole thing was happening before they traded him, I was thinking in my head when I was watching videos of people like the NBA media talking about him, what would be a good fit for him. And the Rockets instantly came to mind because the Rockets, he'll go into that. So fingers crossed he can actually get on the court this season because obviously due to legal reasons or whatever and off the court reasons he hasn't stepped on the court yet. But if he can step on the court, there'll be, because obviously the Rockets now, they've traded away James Harden, have zero expectations. So he'll go on there with no expectations. They won't be like, look, we need to win X amount of games. It's like, no, they're rebuilding for the lottery. They're going to hope they get a good pick. He'll have no pressure. He'll build with good leading guards. He's got obviously Oladipo and John Wall as in front of him in the backcourt. You've got,
I don't think Oladipo started we see earlier this week about him starting quite strong. He got 32 and 9 assists in his debut.
I'm thinking more off the court. Those guys are leaders, especially Eric Gordon, who's a respected veteran in the league. I think just fit wise, it's a very good fit. He doesn't have to. He can really focus on his game. He's got a great coach in Stephen Silas, who this is actually his first ever head coaching job. He's been an assistant for I can't remember the top of my head, but it's over 20 years. He's been assistants at multiple different teams. And obviously, the main job of an assistant is, obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of his roles in previous teams, but he probably spent a lot of time developing the young players and young pieces. And obviously, they've got their James Harden situations on. They've all got a big sigh of relief. They're bringing in a new young player. And the one thing that gets on my nerves about this is I remember when Jabed said on the Kyrie episode about we think Kyrie's having some mental health problems, but everyone was looking out for Kyrie. Kyrie goes straight back into the lineup. Blah blah blah. This young kid who's the same age as us three is clearly, I think, struggling with mental health problems as well. And what do? They get rid of him, and it's like, no, you should. That's like, just because Kyrie Irving has a ring and can do 400 crossovers in a minute, like, doesn't mean that he gets any special extra treatment, I think, than Kevin Porter Jr. So to me, it really shows favoritism in the league for all the wrong reasons. Obviously, you've got stars in the league that are going to get.
Yeah.
They're going to get.
I mean, if you're paying someone 33 mil, you're probably going to show them a bit more respect.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about it as basketball players. I'm thinking about them as human beings. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're equal human beings in the sense that they're both clearly struggling with something, whether or not it's mental health and whether it's not. It's just anything else. And it's like they seem to be Kyrie missed games because Kyrie wanted to miss games. Kevin Porter Jr. wants to play. He's not shown anyone that he's not committed to playing for the team and helping his team. Even when they traded him, he put out I think it was on his Instagram, he put out like a really heartfelt message to the Cleveland Cavaliers organization and the city of Cleveland. After they treat him like shit, he's doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's like and it's just like other people.
Yeah, because his only real issue has been the off the court stuff, and I've heard he's got a bit of an attitude about it. But, you know what I mean? Like, I think
he's our age.
You
know what I mean?
You need, but that's what I mean. Like, you need the right person that it just ain't gonna take no shit from you. They're gonna give you love. They're not gonna disrespect you. They're gonna love you as well, but they'll be like, fuck it, pack it in.
Yeah, you need that right kind of balance. I just feel like the Cavs didn't offer him that right balance. They just kind of, and obviously we don't know. There was obviously reported that there's been things that have happened off the court that haven't been revealed to the media that he's done. By the sounds of it, this isn't his first issue with staff members behind the scenes, but obviously he shouldn't have thrown food and got really aggressive to people.
Thrown his toys like the crab.
Yeah, literally. But I just feel like there was a right and a wrong way to go around.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking. Yeah, imagine being a grown man
and you're throwing
like
food.
Mashed potato at someone or some shit. I'm sorry.
I can just imagine him just having one of those big things of like fizzy drink from Wendy's or something, just dashing it in their coach's face. Just
I don't want to.
Yeah, you ain't gonna play me. There we go. Have that orange
green peas on a spoon, and he's just flicking green peas at people.
Oh, Jesus. But
bless him. I do feel for him, but it just tickled me that he's a grown up and he's literally throwing food like that.
Yeah, obviously he shouldn't have done that. He did really show his age. Well, I say throw his age. We're all the same age as him, and we wouldn't throw food at someone. But he did really show some immaturity there. But
I see him as the evil Michael Porter Jr. That's how we refer to him as. The villain, the antagonist, Michael Porter Jr.
I do think he'll fit well in the culture that Houston seems to be trying to achieve in the next few years. But especially because he's a 30th pick, his contract will be like 1.3 million a year for the next, obviously for the next this year and the next two, if they decide to bring him up, qualify as team options. But I just think that if this is a really good fit for him. Hopefully, fingers crossed for him, he can get on the court, because I think one of the best things in my opinion, the best things for these players like a Kyrie, like a Kevin Porter Jr. or any other player that may be struggling with whatever off the court issues. I think the best place for them is to play on the court, where you can you're not focusing on the outside, you're focusing on your plays, where you need to be, your spots on the floor and things like that. So you're literally physically not coping with it, and if not coping with it, sorry, not thinking about it. So I think that's for me the best therapy for especially professional athletes, is to get on their court or field or whatever their sport is that they play. So I just fingers crossed for him that he gets on the court and that he can put up some good numbers for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.